If you're lowering your prices because your competition's cheaper than you, you're about to lose the game. You have just entered the vortex that we call the race to the bottom. And in the race to the bottom, there is indeed no winners, only losers. So if this is you, I've got a simple fix. I'm going to explain why the race to the bottom is so deadly, and I'm going to give you 3 simple steps to follow to make sure that you don't ever end up on the starting line. For context, I'm Rhiannon. I've been turning around businesses since I was 19. At the moment, I run a national franchise, which I turned around. And what I'm about to explain to you is one of the most tightly held misconceptions that people have about pricing in business. You do not need to be the cheapest to attract customers. What so many new business owners do is set their pricing just that little bit cheaper than their competition in the hopes that that will be what makes them successful. But if you've watched any of my previous videos, you already know that pricing is a strategy, not a stab in the dark. So your first mistake is that pricing based on what your competition is charging means that you've got no idea whether that price is actually going to cover your costs or not. So here's what happens. You set your price, then your competition clocks that you've set it just that little bit cheaper, so they drop their price, then you clock that drop, and then you drop your price, and that is what we call the race to the bottom. And at this point, neither of you have a clue whether you're actually profitable. Now, don't get me wrong, competing on price is a strategy, but unless you're doing an absolutely enormous volume or your margins are totally wild to begin with, then it is a slippery slope that you probably shouldn't be playing on. So here are 3 quick, easy, implementable things that you can do in your business today to make sure that you are nowhere near the start line of this race. Firstly, I want you to follow up calls and inquiries faster than your competition. I know this sounds ridiculously basic, but I have seen a 60% increase in someone's conversion just because they returned calls quickly. Number 2, I want you to genuinely commit to helping your customers solve the problem that they came to you for help with in the first place, because I can guarantee your competition isn't doing this. Your competition is just giving out quotes, answering phone calls, not being genuinely helpful, no real buy-in in whether they're going to get an outcome for the customer or not. Just be that little bit more helpful than your competition. That means you're more valuable. And the third thing that I want you to implement today in your business is that I want you to get clear on the value that you bring to the table, and I want you to sell it. This means if you offer a service guarantee, say that. It means if you offer people that are police checked, say that. If you have a certain feature or benefit that your competition doesn't, say it. I want you to make sure that your customers know exactly why they should choose you over the competition. And at the end of the day, when it comes to pricing, if you know your value, you can charge your worth.